He has 4 US patents to his credit. During 2019, Professor Solanki traveled across the world covering 30 countries to spread the message of solar energy. In his online Energy Swaraj Yatra, he has already traveled more than 34,000 kilometers, reaching about 130,000 people across 17 Indian states. The 11-year Yatra is expected to cover travel across the country 4 to 5 times. The Yatra aims to bring energy literacy to over 100 crore and encourage over 1 crore families to switch 100% on solar energy. We rarely get this kind of opportunity to meet and listen to such a committed innovator and a wonderful human being. Sir, the stage is yours. By the time we adjust here, why don't all the students probably sit during the space available in between, because I'm going to take about 50 minutes, so we'll be spending long time. So why don't you come and just sit on the floor? This is what we do in IT. Get the space wherever it is available. All right, it is my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to the University of Mysore. Thanks to Vice Chancellor, Honorable Professor Rajshekhar. Thanks to Professor Prakash. Thanks to Dr. Venkatesh, Dr. Loknath, Dr. Amritesh, all other faculty members, and my dear students. It is my pleasure to be here, really here with all of you, and I'm going to share with you about the 6 points regarding the climate change, understanding and corrective actions. Before I do that, let me ask all of you, how are you all? All fine? What a disaster. What a disaster that you are only fine. No? I thought when you see a professor from IIT Bombay, you are going to be happy. I thought when science is growing, technology is growing, you are going to be happy. When economy is growing, you are going to be happy. But you are only fine. And it's not only your problem, by the way. I keep traveling all across the world and I keep asking, how are you? And most people, they are fine and they remain fine the whole life. Go and ask a taxi driver, how are you? He'll say, fine. Come to university and ask student and professor, how are you? They are also fine. So go to a very big office. Ask the collector, secretary, how are you? They are also fine. So I feel there is something wrong in this world, isn't it? How can everybody be fine? You agree with me? Gita says that every single act that we perform in our life, whether we want to look good, or study well, or eat well, or get a good position, good income, there is only and only one purpose, that is to be happy. So you know what I made it my rule that I've decided that wherever I go and talk, I'm going to talk to only happy people. So if you really want to listen to me, you have 2 choices. Either you're happy by choice or you're happy by force. Which one you want to choose? Happy by choice. Very nice. You made a very good choice. So let me ask once again, how are you all? Proof that you're happy now? You said you're happy, right? Smile on the face, right? So by the time I'm going to talk to you, please keep a smile on the face, even if it is a fake smile. Nakli hogi to bhi chalegi. Make sure there is a smile on the face. You all agree with me? Very nice. By the way, I know a couple of tricks to smile on somebody's face. Do you want to learn the trick? Okay. Let's do one thing. You know what we are going to do? Pranayam that brings a smile. The name of the pranayam is Ashir Chakit Pranayam. What is it? Ashir. See, the name itself brings a smile, isn't it? What we are going to do in this pranayam, we are going to feel Ashir Chakit. And I'm going to demonstrate you how to feel Ashir Chakit. Just look at me very carefully, okay? So when we feel Ashir Chakit, what happens? Mouth open, eyes open, hands open. Just look at me carefully. This is something like this, something like. Alright? Now it is your turn. So get ready for the pranayam. Get ready means hands by the side. Keep your hand by the side. And at the count of 3, you have to feel Ashir Chakit. The bigger Ashir Chakit you are, more happier you will be. Okay? Ready? At the count of three, everybody wants to be happy. Professors don't want to be happy. All right. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Little more, little more. Okay. This was a trial. Now we are going to do 5 times continuously. Get ready for the pranayam. Okay. Give your 101%. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Let me ask once again, how are you all? Very nice. With this happy note, let me start talking about the serious thing of climate change and what corrective actions we need. Before I do that, I want to bring your attention to this bus. This is not bus, this is my home. By the way, I have left my home for 11 years. Last time when I was at my home, it was 2020. The next time when I go my home, it will be 2031. 11 years. And I keep asking people, what could be the reason somebody leave home for 11 years? And there can only be 2 reasons. One is that the person has gone crazy or दिमाग पे screw ढीला हो गया. Or there can be genuine reason. Looking at me, what do you think? Screw ढीला लगता है? No, thank you so much for saving me. It means there is a genuine reason why I am doing this. By the way, this is my home, as I said. So there is a bed inside. There is a kitchen inside. There is a washroom inside. There is a library inside. There is an office inside. There is a training room inside. There is a temple inside, and there is a small garden also inside. And there are solar panels on the top, and that is generating enough power to power my house. Would you like to visit my home sometime? Great. The beauty of my home is it can go anywhere. So I brought it here, so you are most welcome to visit after this talk. Let me start with this quote from Plato. Plato was a Greek philosopher, by the way. He said that every king should be a philosopher, or only philosophers should become a king. You know why? Because kings used to have a lot of power. They could change the direction of the kingdom, people living in a kingdom. We, the modern humans, are also very powerful. With our science and technology, we can go to the moon, we can send a mission to the Mars. If there's a problem in somebody's heart, we can replace it, we can run big machines, we can fly, we can change the direction of life on this planet. So we are very powerful. The problem is we have lost the touch of philosophy. We have lost the touch of philosophy. And as a result of that, we do not know why we are doing what we are doing, how much we are doing. We are simply doing things. For example, all of you must be knowing that do you want a country's GDP to increase? Everybody wants country's GDP to increase, but is there anybody who knows how much to increase? 5% or 7% or 9% or 10 or 15 or 20, how much? Nobody knows. Even if I ask this question to Prime Minister Modi ji, please tell me how much GDP should increase, the only thing he'll say is more the better. Right? How long country's GDP should increase? Another 10 years is good. Another 20 years is good. Another 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. How many years? No, longer the better. So we do not know how much to grow and how long to grow. Not knowing how much to grow and how long to grow is like driving a vehicle without any brakes. And if anybody is driving a vehicle without any brakes, what is going to happen? Accident. And it looks like either the modern humans, which means all of us, have already met an accident, or we are going to meet an accident very soon. So with this, I'm going to bring you these 6 points. And if you can take home today these 6 points, it will be really, I would consider it is a success of my effort. What are the 6 points? Number 1. When we say climate change, means what has changed? Why it has changed? Who has changed it? When are we going to correct it? How to correct it? And what an individual can do. These 6 points, if we can really understand, then it will be really great. Are you all ready? Okay, let's start with the first point. What has changed? When we say climate has changed, means what has changed? Well, the nature has changed. It used to be so beautiful, not beautiful anymore. We don't find such beautiful sceneries across the planet, which was the normal part. One thing that you must have all realized, that the weather system has changed. Yes or no? It's not same anymore. There used to be floods in the past also. Extreme floods, we call it. 1,000 years back, 500 years back, there used to be extreme flood situation in the planet. But what has happened last 4 decades, 1970 to 79, the extreme flood events were only 313. This has now increased to 1,393. In just last 4 decades, the number of floods, extreme floods, has increased by almost 500%, 5 times more. And where are the floods taking place? Everywhere. There were floods in Assam, Maharashtra, Bangalore. Outside India, there were floods in China, Japan, Australia, Western Europe, Brazil, Peru. Even there were floods in Saudi Arabia. You know what is Saudi Arabia? A desert country. You can all Google search and figure out floods in Saudi Arabia that's already taking place there. So the imbalance has happened and extreme floods like this has happened. Pakistan, when it was flooded, 1/3 of Pakistan was under the water, 1/3. And some of the land is still like waterlogged even till today. So that is what is climate change is all about, extreme events. I'm sure you must have heard of forest fires, Amazon forest fires. Have you heard of? Then forest fires in Australia, California, Greece, Italy, Turkey, Russia, UK, all over the planet there are forest fires, and the number is also increased by almost 5 times more. Extreme event. Millions of acres of forest is getting burned every single year on this planet, which is killing billions of animals and insects. And all those animals and insects that get killed, burnt alive, has impact in your life, in my life. There was a report which came, it said that if all the animals and insects on this planet get killed, finished, the human life will finish in 3 months' time. They are a very important part of our ecosystem, and we cannot live without that. So that is what is happening. As the temperatures are rising, ice is melting. I'm sure everybody must have seen this in the newspapers. North Pole and South Pole, ice is melting at a very, very high rate. North Pole, almost 40% of ice has disappeared, and this is what you see, the broken ice limb that you see. And where this ice water is going after the melting? It is going to the ocean. And when I went to Orissa, I have taken this picture myself. And what a shock it was to actually be at a place. This place is called Sadhmaya Villages. You can again Google search and figure out. In fact, Google Maps these days tells you the time-lapse images of the same place. So last 25 years, 30 years, what happened to a given place, you can actually figure out, from a satellite view. So this village, there is a seashore here. This sea has used to be about 2.5 kilometers away from this place. 2.5 kilometers. But because sea level is rising, you see the temple of the village is under the sand now. The hand pump of the village is under the sand. This is all happening right in front of our own eyes. We can see this, what is happening. So sea level is rising at the rate of 3.4 millimeter per year. And almost 100 millimeters is risen already from 1993 onwards. So when we say climate change means this has changed. What has changed? Extreme events, intensity has increased, frequency has increased. So that's point number one. I hope all of you remember this. What does it mean to have climate change? Point number two. Why it has changed? Why climate has changed? Once upon a time there was water all over the planet. At some other point there was only ice everywhere. But it has taken millions of years to come to this balance. Why that balance got disturbed? You know why? There is only and only one reason. And that reason is use of energy. It is only because of energy this has happened. As per the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations, there are 17 SDGs. 17. In the center of each of these goals is energy. So whether it is poverty, hunger, health, education, climate change, consumption, even global peace and partnership has something to do with energy. So energy is everything and everything is energy. Energy plays a very, very important role in our life. All parameters of growth, social growth and economic growth has something to do with energy. But the problem is we the modern humans have gone terribly wrong in using energy. Terribly wrong. Why I'm saying this? This graph actually is the proof of that. This is a story of energy consumption of modern humans of last 220 years. Look at this point. 1850. What happened in 1850? We started to industrialize ourselves. First time we started using carbon-based energy, coal. But before 1850, this period, we were all using only renewable, only biomass, only wind, only hydro. 1850, we started using coal. Then in 1900, we started using crude oil. By 1950, we started using natural gas. Look at the growth beyond 1950. How fast we are going. And today in 2023, as I'm talking to you, we are using coal, oil, gas, solar, wind, biomass, hydro, nuclear, all kinds of energies that we are using. But the problem is these three curves here, the pink, the blue, and the gray, coal, oil, and gas. This is the problem. Why? Because even today, with all the renewable energy advancement, even today, 80 to 85% energy that we are using comes from coal, oil, and gas. So what if it comes from coal, oil, and gas? What is the problem? Is there any problem? Well, there are many problems. Number one, we don't have it. India is a very poor country, energy poor country. We don't have this, we import. India has to spend 12 lakh crore rupees every single year in importing energy. Suppose we don't have this money, dollars that is required, we will be in trouble like our neighbors. You know what happened to Sri Lanka, you all aware? Sri Lanka ran short of foreign exchange, no energy, food supply disturbed, no food. Pakistan is going through the same problem. So this is a big problem that our dependence on other countries. And any country which is so dependent on other countries will never be a powerful nation. But I believe that's not a big problem. Modi ji will take care of the money that is required. The bigger problem is all these three sources, coal, oil, and gas, they are all made out of a single atom. Which atom? What is that atom? Carbon. So coal is carbon, petrol is carbon, diesel is carbon, LPG is carbon, CNG is carbon, all of them are carbon. And whenever we burn carbon, this is the equation. Carbon plus oxygen equal to energy plus carbon dioxide. We all use energy. When we cook food, we use energy. When we travel, we use energy. When you are wearing clothes, you are using energy. Lights are running, you are using energy. The chairs that you are using also consume energy. The walls of this building has taken energy. The floor has taken energy. We all use energy. And we are all responsible for emitting carbon dioxide. Where we emit carbon dioxide? In the atmosphere. We all emit carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as if it is your father's property. Hello? Father's property? Grandfather's property? Mother's property? No. But we treat it as our personal property. We can emit as much as carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as we want. But the atmosphere is finite. It's not infinite. You can't do anything and everything here. And therefore, this carbon dioxide that we are emitting is going there in the atmosphere. Look what is happening. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was constant. But only after 1850, look where it is going, how fast it is increasing. And today, as I'm talking to you, there is 50% extra carbon dioxide sitting in this atmosphere. 50%. Is that a big change in the concentration or a small change? Huge. 50% level concentration of carbon dioxide we have already changed. And what this carbon dioxide is doing there in the atmosphere? What it is doing there, sitting there on the top, looking at the humans, what these humans are doing? No, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Have you heard this? It's a greenhouse gas. And what is the job of greenhouse gas? Greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? Trapping of the heat. And there is a 50% extra carbon dioxide sitting in the atmosphere, means there is a 50% extra trapping of energy, trapping of heat is taking place. As a result of that, the planet is becoming warmer and warmer and warmer. Have you all experienced that? Last 7-8 years? And not only that, the second problem is, once it is emitted, it has a life of 300 years. How much? 300 years. So whatever food you are going to eat today, whatever CO2 that are emitting, it is going to impact for 300 years. These lights and fans that are running today, it is going to impact for 300 years. So as a result of this, the temperature of the planet is increasing. Look at this yellow line. Look at how fast it is increasing. But more than this yellow line, look at this corner here. Last 7-8 years. Not only that it is linearly increasing, it is actually now almost going into the exponential path, this curve here. So that is what is called acceleration in climate change. Not only it is changing, but it is accelerating, and that is where the problem for the humans are. As I'm talking to you right now, the global temperature has already increased by 1.19 degrees centigrade. which is equal to 2.14 degree Fahrenheit. The increase in global temperature. What do you think? Is a big change in temperature or a small change in temperature? So big change in temperature, our body temperature is normally 97, 98 degree Fahrenheit. Suppose body temperature increases by 2 degree only, it becomes 100 degree. When body temperature is 100 degree, what we say? Body has got the fever. Planet's temperature is increased by 2.14 degree Fahrenheit. Can we say planet has got the fever? Hello? Hello? Can we say planet has got the fever? Oh my God, planet has got the fever. When you get a fever, what do? You take paracetamol, right? Dolo 650, everybody's favorite during the COVID, right? Is there any paracetamol we can give to our planet? No, we cannot. When you get a fever, you lose balance. You can't eat properly, you can't sleep properly, you can't work properly, you can't study properly. Similarly, the planet has got the fever. Planet also cannot behave properly, and that's why there are more floods, more droughts, more heat waves, more cold waves. There are more sea level rise, more melting of ice, more forest fires, more increase in diseases and decrease in food production yield. This of the climate change. So point number 2 is that here climate has changed because of what? Carbon dioxide. Will you all remember? Okay. Who has changed it? Who has caused the climate change? Mr. Rajshekhar, whenever I ask these people, all the intelligent, smart, educated people, whenever I ask them, tell me who has caused the climate change, you know what they say? They say humans have done it, I have not done it. Humans have done it. Then I have to say, hello, wake up, you are the humans, right? So who has done the climate change? We. That is also not correct. It's not we that have done it. You know why? Because whenever we say we, it is not your responsibility, it is everybody's responsibility. And nobody does anything. But look carefully who is doing it. Who is eating the food? It is you. Who is enjoying the light? It is you. Who is enjoying the chair? You. Who is enjoying the table and everything? Who is wearing the clothes? It is you. So who is causing the climate change? I. That has to be the most correct answer. Please tell it loudly. Who is causing the climate change? I do it because I consume energy and material. I consume energy directly because I eat food, I travel, I use electricity, and indirectly because we wear clothes, building, road, furniture, everything results in carbon dioxide emission. So if somebody asks who has caused the climate change, it is I. In Panchatantra there is a story. As per the story, once upon a time there was a person who was sitting on a branch of a tree and petting the same branch. Fool, stupid, right? So when I see this happening, one side the GDP of the country is increasing, on the other side nature is degrading. And what is this nature? It is the nature that nurtures our life. This is a fundamental to existence on this planet. Air, water, and soil. You cannot live without air. You cannot live without water. You cannot live without eating food. Can any one of us guarantee that the air, water, and soil is the same that used to be there? Can anyone guarantee that the food that you are eating is without chemicals? Can you drink the water even from Ganga and Yamuna without cleaning? No. So one side GDP is increasing, nature is degrading. The question that comes to my mind is this a modernity or stupidity? Hello? Looks like stupidity, plain stupidity. How can you pollute the very same air that you are only going to breathe? How can you pollute the very same water that you are only going to breathe? So if it looks height of stupidity, the next question is, who is stupid? Hello? I. Say it loudly, please. Who is stupid? I. See? So many beautiful smiling stupids are sitting here. But that's a whole problem of this world. That exactly that is what we are doing. Not realizing that the action that we are actually taking is destroying the very same purpose for which we are living for a healthy and happy life. Okay, so point number 3. Let me come to the point number 4. When to correct it? What do you think? When should we correct the climate change? We should correct it now, immediately, isn't it? Things are running out of our hands. Why should we correct it? Because climate scientist tells us that we need to limit the global temperature ideally below 1.5 degrees centigrade or maximum 2 degrees centigrade. Ideally, we should stop global warming at 1.5 degrees centigrade. Question is why? Why should we stop? What is going to happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? Will there be certain disaster and everybody will die? Will that happen? No. There will not be any sudden disaster and everybody will die. I keep saying, don't worry. In Hindi we say, इतनी आसान मौत नहीं मिलने वाली. You're not going to die so easily, you know. Nature is not going to kill you so easily. You know how is nature going to kill us? In a movie, if there is a dangerous villain. How does a dangerous villain kill a hero? How does a dangerous villain kill a hero? Slowly. Or in Hindi we say, tadpa tadpa ke. So how is nature going to kill us? This also you should say loudly so that we all remember. How is nature going to kill us? Tadpa tadpa ke. So when we cross this line, 1.5 degrees centigrade, the change in the climate will start to become irreversible. And by 2 degrees centigrade, it will be completely irreversible. What does it mean? Beyond 2 degrees centigrade, even if you become all sent, every human being on the planet becomes sent and decides to do nothing, and we all decide to live only with a langot and nothing else, still we cannot reverse the climate change. This is like a Lakshman Rekha. Once you cross it, you cannot come back. And that's why we have to do it, and you have to take action right now to correct it. Would you like to do something? My God, only 5 people want to do something. Would you like to do something? Yes. That's great. The second problem is we don't have time. We are running out of time. That is determined by what is called carbon budget. Can you close this door, please? The time left is decided by what is called carbon budget. What is the carbon budget? Carbon budget is amount of carbon dioxide that we can still afford to emit in the atmosphere. And for 1.5 degrees centigrade, this is 280 billion tons, and 2 degree it is about 1030 billion tons. Looks like a big number. But look at this number, the rate at which you are emitting carbon dioxide. Can you all read this number? Can you all read the number? How much is? 14 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide is emitted in how much time? Just 1 second. And how much is 1 second? 1 second, 1 second. 14 lakh kilogram, 14 lakh kilogram, 14 lakh kilogram, 14 lakh kilogram. This is the rate at which you are emitting carbon dioxide. 14 lakh kilogram. By the time I speak one sentence, almost 100 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide gets emitted on this planet. What a disaster. How dangerous we the humans have become on this planet. And when you divide this number by this number, you get the time left before we touch global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. Can you guess now how much time is left? Do we have 100 years, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years? No. As per this, as per the climate clock, the time left to, as per the 21st January is only 6 years and 182 days. As of January 21st, as of today, the time left is only 6 years and 160 odd days. Shall I say congratulations to all of you for having such a wonderful problem? Only so much time is left before we touch global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade, after which there is a more irreversible climate change starts. So that is the time left, and that brings me to point number 5. Let us all correct it. The question is how to correct it. Would you like to all correct it, right? We should all correct it. Do you know why? Because there is no planet B. This is the only planet we are living in. There is no other planet. Only some people can actually escape, Elon Musk. And you don't worry, you are not so rich, so you are not going to escape from this planet. So the best thing you can do is make sure that you live on this planet and make sure that conditions are. But how to correct it is a very important question you ask. How to correct it? Well, as per the IPCC, IPCC is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, one of the most credible body in this world. 195 countries are the member of IPCC. It is under UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program. They say that if you want to solve the problem, you need changes in energy use pattern. You know why? Because the problem is caused because of energy use, because of carbon dioxide. If somebody gets a cancer, can we treat cancer by taking a paracetamol? We cannot. We have to remove the cause of cancer, then only you can treat cancer. You have to kill the cancerous cells from the body by chemotherapy. Right? So if climate has changed, and if you want to solve the problem of climate change, what you have to do? Remove the root cause of climate change. And what is the root cause of climate change? What is the root cause of climate change? Carbon dioxide emission. So they say you need to make a change in energy use pattern. So 85% energy comes from coal, oil, and gas. Change it. How? Two qualifying conditions. Not only that you have to change, but the change has to be drastic. Big change is required. You know why? Because we're running out of time. Big and immediate change is required. Drastic and immediate change. Is there any country in the world? Is there any institution in the world? Is there any individual who is making drastic and immediate change? Answer is no. You know, last 25 years, Kyoto Protocol. Have you heard of Kyoto Protocol? 1998. First time we started deciding, let us do something. Then after that, COP meetings. How many COP meetings have happened? 27 COP meetings. Every meeting, big leaders from the world come together and decide what? Let us solve the problem of climate change. Let us reduce carbon dioxide emission. 27 meetings have already happened in this world. Paris Agreement, 2015. One of the most famous for a very strong agreement was Paris Agreement in 2015. What was the agreement? That all countries will reduce their carbon emission by half by 2050. And I was so happy. Wow. In 2016, carbon emission will go down, 17 it will go down further, 18 it will go down further. But what is the reality? Carbon emission is decreasing or increasing? Every year it's increasing. What does it mean? That we are not taking drastic and immediate action. As a result of that, climate change is not stopping, climate change is not slowing down, rather climate change is accelerating. Is the point clear? So we need drastic and immediate change. The question is, can we really make a drastic and immediate change? You know why? Because we are all stuck in our own contradiction. There is a problem with this climate change and growth. Do you all want growth? Hello? Everybody wants growth. But growth requires what? Energy, right? You can't grow without taking energy. And 85% energy comes from where? Carbon, coal, oil and gas. And that is going to result in carbon dioxide emission. And that is going to cause climate change. So if you want to grow, you will also get a climate change. So let us decide what you want. Do you want growth or you want to solve the climate change problem? Hello? Oh, very smart. It's so difficult to say I want climate change solution, right? Because you're so used to the growth, you can't leave these. But that's a problem because we are still growing and we are going to self-destruction mode. Well, both nobody has demonstrated yet. No country has shown that you can actually do both. You can grow as well as you can mitigate climate change. Nobody has demonstrated. So if you want growth, you need increase in energy supply. If you want climate change solution, you need decrease in energy supply. Contradictory problem. How do I solve it? And I keep saying that anybody is a problem not only of science and technology, it is not a problem of one country, now it is a problem of survival of human life on this planet. Let me repeat, now it is a problem of survival of human life on this planet. There is already big questions being asked, whether human life will survive here or not, 80 years down the line, 100 years down the line, 150 years down the line. So anybody who solves this problem, I believe should not get just 1 or 2 Nobel Prize, he or she should get 8 to 10 Nobel Prizes. Anybody in the university wants a Nobel Prize here? Hello? Very nice. There are 4, 5, 6, 10 people. Wow. Let's give them a big hand. All those others who have not raised their hand in any point of your life, if you feel that I want to do some good work, I should get a Nobel Prize, start doing this. Without affecting climate change. And that is what a million, billion, trillion dollar problem, nobody knows how to solve it. Well, I think I have some solution. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but I think I have a solution. What is required? Drastic and immediate change in energy use pattern required. According to me, if you want to make a drastic and immediate change, this is what you should do. What you should do? Switch to solar energy 100%. Not 99%. How much? 100%. But whether you switch is even more important. How should you switch it? By surrendering electricity connection. Give up your electricity connection and generate your own electricity. When we all do this, will this become a drastic change? Yes, that will be a drastic change. When should we do this? When should we do this? Immediately, right now. So drastic and immediate change. I hope you understand the point, right? Great. So once you go home today, do one thing. What are you going to do? Write a love letter. Love letter to whom? Not to your boyfriend and girlfriend. Write a love letter to Karnataka Electricity Board. What are you going to write? You write, say, dear electricity board, so far I have been taking your electricity. Finally, my eyes are open today and I have decided to generate my own electricity and therefore I do not need your electricity connection. Kindly take your connection back. Yours truly. Thank you so much. Will you all write this? Hello? If not today, write this month. If not this month, write this year. If not this year, write within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. As soon as possible, switch your life to 100% solar energy. This is not your choice anymore. This is the compulsion of existence of human life. You all getting me? So let me see how many of you will switch to solar energy as soon as possible. How many of you will switch? Everybody has to switch. Very nice. By the way, how many of you are using solar energy right now? Many people are using. Very nice. How many of you are eating food every single day? Eating food every day? Everybody. So some people have doubt whether they eat food or not. They are not raising their hands. Can we grow food without using solar energy? No. So if you are using solar energy means, if you are eating food means you are using solar energy. Yes or no? Are you all breathing all the time? Can we produce oxygen without solar energy? No. So if you are breathing means you are using solar energy, right? Are you all drinking water every day? Can we run a water cycle without solar energy? No. So if you are drinking water means you are using solar energy. So let me ask once again, how many of you are using solar energy? Wow, everybody. What a revelation in your life, right? Finally, before dying, you realize that you are using solar energy. बहुत सारे लोग बेचारे बिना जाने ही मर जाते हैं. उनको जीवन भर पता नहीं चलता कि वो सोलर एनर्जी को उपयोग कर लेते हैं. Our life exists because of sun. We cannot exist. No living creature on this planet can exist without using solar energy. So we are already a big user of solar energy. So what if my light runs on solar energy? So what if my fan runs on solar energy? So what if my kitchen runs on solar energy? Is that a big deal? No. But somehow we made it a very big deal. So let us all, as soon as possible, switch to solar energy 100%. But be careful. You know why? Because the modern humans are expert. Expert in what? We are all expert in solving one problem and creating. See, everybody knows this. You don't have to tell. Next slide. No? Everybody knows that we are expert in solving one problem and creating another problem. We used to do this earlier. Now we are advanced. So what we do? We solve one problem and create many more problems. So while using solar energy, also be careful. The manner the country is using solar energy, we are again going to pay the price in a huge way. Let's be careful. And therefore, what I've done is I've created 2 laws of human existence. There's a big thing I'm telling you. Humanity will not survive on this planet unless we follow those 2 laws of existence. It's like our home, we follow some rules, right? We cook in the kitchen, we sleep in the bedroom, we take bath in the bathroom. We don't do otherwise, right? We don't sleep in the kitchen and take bath in the bedroom, right? We follow some rules at our home. The planet is our bigger home. Yes or no? It's a bigger home, and therefore we must follow rules on living on this planet. But is there any rule that you know about the planet? No. What I've done is I've created 2 rules. You can call them Solanki's laws of existence. What is this rule? Number 1, limit your consumption. Why? Because in an ecosystem of finite resources, there has to be finite consumption. And Gandhiji put it beautifully. Gandhi said this. He said, there is only enough in the world for everyone's need, not for anyone's greed. You can only fulfill your need, not for greed. You know why? Because the size of the planet is fixed and finite. If our population becomes doubles and triple, can we all come together and stretch a planet and make it bigger? Can we do this? Can we increase water on the planet, soil on the planet, minerals on the planet? Nothing. Everything is fixed and finite. Why does this modern human think, no, GDP should increase, production should increase, consumption should increase? Is that possible at all? No. Ever increasing production and consumption and GDP growth is impossible. Why? Because planet itself is fixed and finite. Then why does humans are increasing? Why does our GDP is increasing? Somebody asked me, why our GDP is increasing 6%, 7%? And I keep saying, there's only one way we can continuously grow. What is that way? By means of stealing, chori karke. Are you all stealing things? आप लोग चोरी करते हैं? No, let us see what is chori, by the way. No? So when I take 100 rupees from someone and give it back, then I say I have borrowed money, right? And when you take 100 rupees from someone and never give it back, what do you say? Chori ki, badmashi ki, gaban ki, right? We the modern humans with all our science and technology learned how to take water from underground. For example, tube well, right? With a tube well, we have learned how to take water from underground. Have you learned how to put water back? No. So is the water table going down? Water table is going on all over the country. So can we say we are stealing water? पानी की चोरी कर रहे हैं? Yes or no? तो जो चोरी करता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? चोर. और चोर कौन है? हम नहीं. मैं. Very nice. Say it loudly. Who is chore? See? But this is exactly the fact about the life. The water is not put by my father, but I am taking it. The forest is not planted by my father, but I am taking it. What is not mine, I am taking it. And that is where we are going wrong. So first rule is, whatever you consume, limit your consumption. Rule number 2, localize your production. Why? Because whenever you centralize your production, it always results in inequity, unequal distribution. And whenever there's unequal distribution, there's the balance will disturb. And as a result of that, inequity will increase. As a result of that, the peace will be lost and violence will increase. And that's what is happening. Last 30, 40 years, science is increasing, technology is increasing, economy is increasing. Is brotherhood also increasing? No. Is the love between people increasing? No. Is the violence increasing? Yes, everywhere. So these are the 2 rules: limit your consumption and localize your production. These are the fundamental. Anything and everything that you consume, follow this. Water you are consuming, follow this. Food you are consuming, follow this. Clothes you are wearing, follow this. And one of the most dangerous things that we use in our life is energy. So if you are consuming energy, rule number 1 is limit your consumption and localize your production. Remember this. So that brings you to the last point. We have learned how to correct it by limiting and localizing. That is how. Last point is what an individual can do, what you and I can do. And that is everybody keep asking. Having realized that the climate change, what an individual can do? Well, we need to change the way we are generating our energy and consuming. Because it is energy that has created a problem, right? So we need to rethink and redesign our energy system, the manner we are consuming and generating our energy. What I have done is to create a 3-step simple approach. I call it AMG approach. Avoid, minimize, and generate. If at all you want to switch to solar energy 100%, follow this step, AMG approach. What is AMG? Well, A is avoid the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy. Avoid the use of solar energy also. You know, I'm a professor of solar energy. I'm a brand ambassador of solar energy. My job is to promote solar energy. But what I'm saying is, what is the best thing is, avoid the use of solar energy. You know why? Because there's no manufacturing technology in the world which does not have side effect. Even to make solar panels, you need to make silicon, then silicon crystal, you have to make solar cell, and then you have to make solar module. For making module, you require glass, aluminum frame, and then for erecting, you require structure, you require cables, you require inverter, batteries, and then at the end of life, you need to recycle. Again, you have to use energy and chemical. So the best thing in life is to do what? Avoid the use of energy. How do I avoid the use of energy? Well, there are many ways you can avoid it. Number 1, I have stopped ironing my clothes. You know, the bulb only takes 20, 30, 40 watt of power, but when you iron your clothes, it takes 800, 900, 1000 watt of power. It's a good idea. Can we all stop ironing our clothes? I mean, Vice Chancellor can make a rule that anybody on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if he or she comes with iron clothes, will not be allowed to enter the university. Great idea. There are many ways. So many lights are on in this hall. If you switch off 20% of the lights, will something happen in this hall? Nothing will happen. So that is avoidable. At my home, IT Bombay, there is no geyser, there is no air conditioner, there is no refrigerator. And it's not like I'm a poor person. I'm a professor, I can afford it. But the best thing is avoid. You know why? Because every time when you use refrigerator for just 1 day, it results in 1 unit of electricity consumption. When you take bath with one good bath with the hot water, it takes 1 unit of electricity consumption. And when you use air conditioner for 1 hour, it takes 1 unit of electricity consumption, and 1 unit is equal to 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission approximately. And this 1 kilogram carbon dioxide, once emitted in the atmosphere, remains for how many years? How many years? 300 years. So whatever your comfort of 1 day is discomfort for how many years? 300 years. What a disaster. Whatever I'm going to do today is 300. So best thing in life is to do what? Avoid. One energy should be avoided. If you cannot avoid, the next best thing is minimize. 1/3 use of energy should be minimized. How do I minimize it? By using energy very efficiently. There are efficient lights are available like LED lights. There are efficient fans are available like normal fans or induction motor fan. BLDC fan takes half of the energy. LED lights take half of the energy. Use of refrigerator should be avoided, but if you cannot avoid it, minimize it. How do I minimize it? Don't buy 2 doors and 3 doors and 4 doors refrigerator. No? People are trying to make room inside the refrigerator. Such a big refrigerator they buy. And they, what they do? They put pickle inside the refrigerator. मुझे लगता है दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा पाप है फ्रिज में अचार रख के खाना. You don't do this. Buy smaller ACs. You know why? Because when you make a big bedroom, your AC is cooling your roof, AC is cooling your wall, AC is cooling your floor, and finally at the end, AC is cooling your small body of 6 feet by 2 feet. What a disaster. So minimize the use of energy by efficient way, and if you cannot minimize, the last step should be generate. And where should you generate? Locally, wherever you are. So all the energy needs of this building should be generated here. All the energy needs of your house should be generated on your house. Follow this rule, AMG. Will you all remember this? Will you all remember? A means avoid. M means minimizing. G means generate how much? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And if you will have to say, OMG, oh my God, solar energy is expensive. Oh my God, rooftop space is not there, policy is not there, subsidy is not there. All kind of excuses will come. So let us all follow AMG, and when you do this, it becomes energy Swaraj. It becomes energy independence, energy Atmanirbharta. And I believe that if you all adopt energy Swaraj, it is going to solve many problems of the country and the world. When we all become energy independent, we are going to create jobs locally. We are going to make people skillful. We are going to, independent means country will become independent. Country does not have to import fuel from outside. It will save foreign exchange. And when you stop using coal, oil and gas, you are going to stop carbon emission. Climate change will be stopped. So adapting to energy Swaraj is a solution to many, many problems. And that's why in 2019, I have presented this idea in one of the global competition of IEEE. And we were the winner at the national level, we were the winner at the Asia level, and finally at the global level, there are 3 teams from each continent. So total 21 teams, and we have beaten all the teams, and we were winner at the global level also. And we got the prize money of $100,000, and I have donated that money and created this foundation called Energy Swaraj Foundation, and with the purpose. And the purpose of this foundation to establish energy Swaraj everywhere in the world. Well, I also believe that we need to all create a public movement. It is impossible for any government to solve this problem. Impossible. Government alone cannot solve the problem. You know why? Because all governments are elected for short term, 4 and 5 years only, maximum. But we need to think in 50-year terms. Governments have limited time and limited resources available. So government alone cannot solve the problem. Anyway, who has created the problem? I have created, so who should solve it? Everybody should solve it. So when it will become public movement, when everybody start taking pride in saying that I do not have electricity connection at home, I do not have electricity connection in my college, my department, my college is not responsible for emitting carbon dioxide, that should become the matter of pride. When you and I start saying that I am not wearing iron clothes, I am consuming low energy, that has to be for fashion. Let us make a low energy consumption as a fashion of modern life. Anybody who consumes high energy is not a good person. Why? Because he is emitting more carbon dioxide. And I told you to make it fashion. At my home, there is no fridge, there is no geyser, there is no air conditioner. I am wearing non-iron clothes. But we also done one thing. I have 2 daughters, and we have decided that whenever my daughters will get married, in their marriage function, we are going to invite only those guests who come without ironing their clothes. Is it a good idea? Let us make it as a fashion. And most of you are sitting here are not married yet, right? So why don't you decide today? Let me see how many of you are going to follow this. In your marriage function, not going to invite guests. Come on. All the people who are sitting in the front, you know what? They are not going to do this. You know why? Because in another 20, 30 years, they will go somewhere. It's only you are going to stay back. It's only you are going to suffer. So let us do that. Who is going to do this? Why don't you clap for yourself? Very nice. Let us create as a public movement. Also, one thing you can do is, all of you, I request you to, you can, if you have your mobile phones, why don't you take your mobile phone right now? And we can all start following Energy Swaraj webpage, or you can follow me so that you get facts and figures about the climate change. if you're following Instagram, go to my Instagram ID, Dr. Chetan Solanki, DrChetanSolanki. Dr. Chetan Solanki. DrChetanSolanki. Dr. Chetan Solanki. Have you got this? Something like this will appear. Please do this. Those who are on Twitter, they can follow on Twitter, Dr. Chetan Solanki, same, DrChetanSolanki. Those who are in Facebook and LinkedIn can follow on Chetan Singh Solanki. Facebook and LinkedIn, Chetan Singh Solanki. Please spend 10 seconds and do that so that we are all stay connected and get in touch. Those who got it can help their neighbors, or you can do it later. Alright, so what I'm saying is, let us all attention here, please. We can all become. We need to make it the energy. Swaraj is a movement, and one of the first thing you can do, and I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, can we all make our student energy literate? You know, I want to show my shirt. I don't know if you read it. Can you see what is written? I am energy literate, are you? You know, so energy illiteracy is one of the biggest problem of this world, and I believe 99% people do not understand energy. So I have created a beautiful course called Energy Literacy Training. It's a free course, and it's only 3 hours. There are 12 modules, and each module you can take and learn a lot of things. The Mysore University can have it register itself and upload your own logo with a unique link, and you can send this unique link to all students. So you will be able to monitor on your dashboard, and all the students who get certificate through your unique link will also get your own logo. So you will have, university can keep a count of who is doing and not doing. And please do this. Also on 22nd April, we are going to organize world's largest event of climate clock assembly and display. And I showed you climate clock that only 6 years are left. And what we have done is we have designed a hardware. And to bring a sense to people, people can actually assemble their own climate clock. And all universities department can assemble your own climate clock, hang it in a building, so that everybody becomes sensitive that time is actually ticking. So you can participate in the world's largest event on climate clock assembly. That also will appear on this portal. So please do this, and those who want to become volunteer can also become part of this. At the end, I would like to just request everybody to let us create a movement. Let us all start solving this problem before it is too late. You can follow this to hashtag. And this is the book that I have written if anybody is interested on energy and how this whole idea came. At the end, I would like to take your help to summarize. I'm a professor, and professors are good at taking exam. So what I have done is I have created a small exam, 3 fill in the blanks. What you need to do is fill the blanks. Are you all ready? Okay, here is the first one. Change, right? Climate is not changing, climate has changed. It is already changed, and we can all experience that it has changed. Very nice. Here is the second one. Who has caused the climate change? I have done it because I am the one who is consuming energy and material, and therefore everybody is doing it. Number 3. Who will be the solution to climate change? I will be the solution, because let us not wait for the policies and this and that. We are running out of time. Let everybody start taking action. At the end, before thanking, I would like to give you last number that if you are not going to take drastic and immediate action by the end of this century, that is 2100, which means 78 years from now, the global temperature is expected to rise at least 2.8 degree or up to 6 degrees centigrade. Right now, the global temperature has risen to only 1.1, and look what disasters are taking place. Imagine what will happen if it is 3 degree, 4 degree more than the normal. There is already a big question whether human life will survive or not. And those who are going to survive, how many of you are going to survive, what shape and size they are going to survive. So before it is too late, let us take a drastic and immediate action. Otherwise, we say that once upon a time, there were dinosaurs on the planet. And they are not there anymore. They disappeared because of the climate change at that time. So let us take an action. Otherwise, some 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years later, a new species will appear on this planet. And what they will say once upon a time there were humans on the planet. Oh my God, what are we talking about on this beautiful evening? But our fact and our science and our data suggest that we are heading into that direction. So before it becomes too late, let us take an action so that we can make a better and beautiful future for ourselves and our future generation. So with this note, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for your time. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take some questions. Anybody, any question? If there is no question, I have one last question. May I ask? How are you all? All happy? How long are you going to be happy? Forever? So that is the most important task we are here, right? On this planet to be happy. And what we do? Other than being happy, we do everything else. So from today onwards, if anybody asks you how are you, what are you going to say? Happy, right? Even if you have a fresh fight with somebody and you come across a person who asks how are you, you are going to lie a little bit, right? I'm sure everybody is lying a little bit. So let us be all happy. Let us keep smiling so that we can all take care of the very big problems. Thank you so much. Thank you.
On behalf of the University of Mysore, I wholeheartedly thank Professor Chetan Singh Solanki for his scholarly, thought-provoking and motivating lecture. Thank you so much, sir. We have amongst with us Professor H. Rajshekhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University of Mysore, under whose able leadership we could arrange this special lecture program at a short notice. We are indeed grateful to his support and guidance. Now I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor to deliver the presidential address.
So once again, good afternoon to one and all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Chetan Singh Solanki, Professor IIT Mumbai, Professor A.P. Gnan Prakash, Registrar Evaluation of our University, Professor G. Venkatesh Kumar, Syndicate Member of our University and Professor of Psychology Department, University of Mysore, Professor Loknath, Director PMEB, and Director of IPCC, Professor Ken Amrutesh, and his associates, J. Rohit and Professor Navita Timaya, and invitees of the dais, teacher participants, student participants, research scholars, media people, ladies and gentlemen. So far, we have had a very good exposure to the beautiful lecture given by Professor Chetan Singh Solanki. In fact, I wanted to deliver the presidential address with the written material because I don't know anything about his topic, what to speak on this dais. Simply, I wrote something in black and white and I wanted to read the same material here. But after exposing to his presentation, I felt very happy and learned so many things about what is the role of climate in our solar system. So beautifully explained with live examples, particularly the 6-point, this presentation, gave us clear and complete picture about what is climate, what was the climatic system earlier, now what kind of climatic changes have happened because of that, what spillover effects are there from change in climatic system. Through his lecture, one point is very clear and that has been made it very, very clear here. Just 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, how the world has been facing series of problems, consequences. How the effects of climatic changes are there on human beings, on ecological system, giving the flood situation in the world, heat waves, its implications on human health, and also how we are going to lose ourselves if the same thing is left out unattended. So a lot of serious issues have been considered and spoke very beautifully on this very relevant topic. For this, I must thankful to Professor G. Venkatesh Kumar for identifying such a resourceful person for this special lecture. As a professor of commerce and management, I used to talk about IIM professors, IIT professors, and other professional institutions regarding how the system works there, how lectures will be delivered, how students will be made to learn things on their own. Today is the live example here. He didn't speak just on his own. He invited you people to talk and discuss and learn about the issues. That is inclusive learning. So very beautifully, he took all of you with him. We also were like students while giving this lecture. We learned so many things on the environmental risks and the future of climatic changes. So it is obvious responsibility to take care of about our nature, our climate, and immediately we have to contribute individually to set right the damaged environmental system. You know, the global warming creating a lot of problems not only on human beings but also nature. And because of that, how damages are being experienced by human beings. Professor Venkatesh Kumar mentioned it here very rightly about the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. The expected death toll would cross 1 lakh as per today's news estimation. People say that 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 like that, but they themselves estimated that it would cross 1 lakh. It may go beyond that. And you know what happened even in Karnataka also last, what you call December or November like that, unwarranted rainfall. And you know what happened in Pakistan, you know what happened in China, wildfire in Australia. Live examples are there in front of us. How animals, small creatures burnt down and how ecological imbalance created in Australia. Like that recently in America. So these are all results of poor management of climatic system. Ourselves damaging the whole system without looking at the future. So what is the need of the hour? We need development, but sustainable development is very important. Use resources, but look at future and think about future. Based on those principles, try to use resources so that a balance will be there in the climatic system and we can leave good examples now and that would be referred by our future generations. So only these things I have in my mindset at present juncture. I cannot speak more than this one because I have not learned so many things on this area. I am not specialist in this particular subject, but today we learned so many new things. Our responsibilities are many more, and now only you promise that you will protect our environment, you will do contribute for the protection of our future environment. With these final remarks, I thank the IQAC director for organizing this beautiful and most educative special lecture. In fact, Mysore University is very famous for organizing this kind of lecture series. You know that what happened during centenary celebrations. This is the only university brought 7 Nobel laureates to the University of Mysore to deliver special lectures. And also greatest mathematician, Manju Bhargav, we brought him. Now we have unique personality here on this dais, and this is also very memorable lecture, and we will note it down in our records, and this would help us in getting good gradings in future. So once again, I thank Professor Venkatesh Kumar for suggesting this greatest personality, and also I thank all the participants here for your patient listening, and I thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As we have reached the end of the program, I would like to invite Professor A.P. Gnanaprakash, Registrar Evaluation, to deliver the concluding remarks.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good evening, everybody. Dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University of Mysore, Professor H. Rashikar, and today's speaker, Dr. Chetan Singh Solanki from IIT Mumbai, Professor G. Venkatesh Kumar, Syndicate Member and the Dean, ex-Dean, and Chairman of Psychology Department, Professor N.K. Loknath, Director, PMB, dear professors, students, and invitees. Professor Solanki explained the shocking truths to all of us, and he explained that the key causes of climate changes are the emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere and the deforestation for human settlements, overutilization and exploitation of natural resources, and pollution caused by human activities. But he didn't touch upon the changes in the solar output, so which is associated with sunspot activities. And also he correlated GDP with the energy consumption also. So I hope all of you know the GDP in India. Okay. So it is about 30 to 35% till almost 1700. That time we had everything in India. We had small scale industries. We have all the resources and everything. But when already if you take the modern history, the Mughals enter into India in 1526 and later, Europeans entered around 1600s, particularly 1608. So British entered into India, and later 1750 to around 1850, industrialization era started. And as Solanki mentioned, later the pollution increased, and in addition to that, the GDP of India also gone down to 2 to 3%, so that the British time was. So therefore, what I feel is, so GDP and the energy, So definitely one can correlate. But the GDP of India was around 30 to 35% from the beginning, starting from first century to 17th, 18th century. The GDP of India was very high. Definitely, the consumption of energy so is a key factor for the this these activities, climate change. But you can ask ourselves. So the only solution he suggested was the reduce everything that causes the greenhouse effect. Even we can ask ourselves a question. So what is the consumption of electricity at our home? Okay, if you look at when I was a a reader as an associate professor compared to now as a professor, so definitely our energy consumption is increased very high. You can just check our electricity bill itself. What is your electricity bill 10 years back and what is the electricity bill now? So that itself tell you how much energy, more and more energy you are consuming. So one of the solutions for this problem, whatever problem Dr. Solanki he mentioned is the use of renewable energy. So nowadays we are using different types of solar cells to have the energy, and also we are using the other source of energy like wind energy and some other natural resources we are using to generate energy, and these are the key and these are the necessity in addition to reduce the energy consumption by each of you, including I, including me also. So he beautifully explained about how one can reduce the energy, the consumption. There are so many that can give around 12 to 13%. Nowadays, research is going on to improve the efficiency of the solar cell. Even now, in the market and in the research, so one can have 24 to 25% efficiency solar cells also. So one solution for this greenhouse effect is we need to reduce the percentage of emission of carbon dioxide into the nature. On the other hand, we need to use the other renewable sources. That's what Professor Solanki mentioned on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, on behalf of all of you, on behalf of the university. I would like to once again thank Dr. Chetan Singh Solanki for eye-opening lecture on cycle and understanding. Once again, I thank everyone and giving the opportunity to speak voice to IPCC and the other teams of the university. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Chetan Singh Solanki, Honorable Registrar Evaluation, Honorable Member of the Syndicate, Director of PMBB, Director IQAC for gracing this occasion and making it a grand success. I would also like to wholeheartedly thank the deans, chairpersons, faculty members, students, research scholars from various departments who have participated in this special lecture program. Lastly, I would like to thank the IPCC staff members who have arranged this event. Now, the Indian National Anthem will be played. I request the members of the audience to raise from their seats.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय
ಮೂರು ವಿಷಯಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತರೋದಿದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ರಾಫರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಸಮಾರಂಭ ಇದ್ದಿತ್ತು, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಸಮಾರಂಭ, ಅದು ರದ್ದಾಗಿದೆ, ಕೆಲ ಕಾಲ ಮುಂದೂಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತರಗತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತೆರಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಎರಡನೇದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ನಾಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿ. ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಲಂಕಿ ಅವರ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಬಸ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದೆ, ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸಮಾಪ್ತಿಗೊಂಡಿದೆ.